Jean-Francois, I thought we'd start today with reaction. First of all, we had a statement from the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, just after 2 o'clock on the whole situation over Anthony Rota and this embarrassment, if you will, to Canada's reputation over what happened in the House of Commons. And then in the House of Commons, he got up and basically apologized again, much to the chagrin of the opposing members. There was not a lot of decorum there. So basically just your take on this, on what you've heard so far and how you think this was handled.
Well, I think it's better late than never. As Natasha seems to believe, it's not a complete apology because he apologizes in the name of the House of Commons, the chamber, but not of the government, as though the government did not have any responsibility in checking who's going to be applauded when Zelensky is there. I think the first responsibility was that of the president of Parliament, Mr. Rota, but it doesn't absolve the Premier, his national security staff, and global affairs, who should have checked, if there was any security problems in the people that would be present there. And so how it was handled, I will tell you how any good advisor would have told Justin Trudeau to handle this. The event happened on Friday. Friday in the evening, people started seeing that there was a problem with that. A good advisor would have told the Prime Minister, listen, 24 hours after, you make a declaration from the porch of your house and you say, I am appalled by what happened yesterday. I just talked to President Zelensky to offer him the apologies of my government. I will meet with people from the Jewish communities later today or talk to them on the phone to apologize to them. And I've called Mr. Rota to ask him to step down immediately because we need to clearly tell the world that this was a mistake and there are some responsible people. And I'm asking for a review of how my own staff and global affairs didn't see that coming. This is not rocket science. Mm-hmm. Anyone who has a little bit of experience in crisis management would have told precisely that or something similar to the Prime Minister. So either he has very bad advisors or he doesn't follow good advice. These are the only two possibilities. Today is Wednesday. This thing happened Friday. And it's still not complete because he didn't apologize in the name of his government. He hasn't told us if he called Zelensky. No, not a good crisis management there at all.
No. So I want to play this back for people who did not hear it. It happened a couple of hours ago. This is Justin Trudeau standing up in the House of Commons. Here's what he said.
On behalf of all of us in this House, I would like to present unreserved apologies for what took place on Friday and to President Zelensky and the Ukrainian delegation for the position they were put in. For all of us who were present to have unknowingly recognized this individual was a terrible mistake and a violation of the memory of those who suffered grievously at the hands of the Nazi regime.
Okay. And you hear what it's like in the House of Commons.
I was going to say, like you, I've long wondered, Jean-Francois, if he has lousy advisors or if he just chooses not to listen to them. So I'd love to know which of those you think it is. And then beyond that, at this point, shouldn't he know that hoping that something is going to go away and waiting to see never seems to work out for him? Deal with it right away.
I think it goes to his character because if he felt that he had been ill-advised before, he should have switched advisors until he found some that are better suited for the job. But you see, even today, you're trying to close the crisis. And you cannot close the crisis if you let yourself vulnerable for Mr. Poilievre, who's been very eloquent today on this issue, to say, well, you apologize for the House. What about your government? What about global affairs? What about the protocol? Don't you have any responsibility? If you take responsibility on day one, then it's okay. People can't fault you for not taking responsibility. But still today, his refusal to take governmental responsibility it leaves him open for for 2 more days of attacks from the opposition.
Let's move from federal politics, if you will, to provincial politics. Couple of questions. Number one, there's been a lot of discussion over what's going to happen in that Jean Talon riding. Interesting, of course, that the premier first didn't want his picture on posters in that riding, then decided to actually go out and knock on doors to support his candidate. Then the polls show us, Jean-Francois, that the PQ is leading in that riding, and it's not happening. The vote's not tomorrow. It seems voter turnout, advanced turnout, has been reasonably high as well. So what do you think is happening? And first of all, how important is this at all?
Well, it's important in the storytelling of the second mandate of the CAQ. Is the CAQ able to sustain public support when voters are asked not to answer a poll, but to really go out and vote during a by-election? And this also tells the voters of all of Quebec who is the alternative to the CAQ. Seems to be the PQ, could have been someone else. I remember I was leader of the PQ when we had this by-election in Louis Hébert, and the CAQ won over the Liberals in a Liberal fortress. And so this signaled the whole population that if they wanted to get rid of the Liberals, the good tool was the CAQ. So that's the issue as well. And so the poll today doesn't tell us that the PQ is 10 points ahead in the riding. It tells us it's 10 points ahead in the Quebec region. So does that translate in the riding? We will see Monday. It's a very difficult riding for the PQ because of its never voted PQ in its history. Clearly, they are head-to-head. And clearly, the internal polls of the CAQ tell them, I am told, that the PQ is 5 points ahead. So they're trying to close this gap. For the second week in a row, the caucus of the CAQ that's being held on Wednesday evening is canceled for all MNAs of the CAQ to go and canvass. The premier is canvassing as well. They're trying to win it. They can win it, but by the skin of the teeth. We say this in French. Do you say this in English?
Yeah, by the skin of someone's teeth, yeah.
Yeah, and so clearly, it seems that, you remember when Robert Bourassa and other Liberals were saying, you look at the polls, but give us 3 more points. That's the points that we have on the day of the vote, and that's because older people will vote for us in greater number because they're better voters in terms of going to the polls. Well, this premium switch from the Liberals to the CAQ in the 2 last elections. Will it stay for the CAQ Monday in Jean Talon, or will it divide itself between the CAQ and the PQ? I think that will be the clincher of the election.
How much bearing do you think, how many provincial civil servants live there too? Because I think that is the source of much discontent among voters right now.
Well, that's right. And they're in negotiation with the government. You either have someone in your family or yourself who work for the Quebec government when you live in Quebec and even outside Quebec City. So it's very close to your heart. It's part of the family discussion every weekend. And even if you don't work or you know that your brother, your sister, your cousin is not paid well enough or has working conditions that are not good enough, and it's the fault of the current government, always, of course. And so that's a minus for the CAQ government. But the plus is that they've given every elder $2,000, okay? And so they're really working hard on these buildings where you have retirees.
I wonder if that $2,000, as you say, will be an old memory or even, right now anyway. If they were mailing out checks every month, I'd see a lot of people would say, well, I want to keep this coming in. But it was a one time. Maybe it happens again.
It's yearly. The 2,000 is yearly. The 500 was a one time.
Right. I just wonder if people will remember that forever as a reason to vote for a political party. I know it's as old as time, but we shall see what happens in Jean Talon.
Yep.
Jean-Francois.
It'll be very interesting Monday to see that.
We shall indeed chat next week. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.